For reasons unknown, the impossible occurs. Time stops for everyone, except for one woman, her mind clouded with confusion. The nature of her reality is called into question. The story begins with Michelle Weaver, a young woman working at a prestigious five-star hotel. One morning, she meets with her supervisor, Reggie, and informs him that her customer satisfaction ratings are the highest in the hotel and that she deserves the promotion. Reggie smiles and tells her the job is hers, making her the new hotel manager. As Michelle exits the office, some of the staff members in the hallway applaud her. On her way, she overhears a guest and his wife arguing with the front desk receptionist, Jeffrey. Michelle steps forward to de-escalate the situation. The guest is upset, claiming he paid for 4 windows but only received 3. In response, Michelle offers them an upgrade to a penthouse suite and a complimentary drink voucher. The guests are satisfied, and Michelle informs Jeffrey that she's heading on her break. On her break, Michelle calls her husband, Carl, and tells him she'll be home late tonight. Suddenly, she feels a sharp pain in her chest. While she struggles with the pain, everyone in the restaurant stares out the window, instantly freezing in the moment, while the rest are just walking outside in a daze. Michelle steps outside and is stunned to see that everyone has stopped moving, all staring blankly at a massive red sphere floating in the sky. Loud trumpeting noises echo through the air, but only Michelle and the birds seem to hear them. The others remain motionless, gazing passively at the sphere. A woman approaches Michelle asking, "Is downtime 10 seconds?" She doesn't wait for a response, instead turning to stare up at the sphere, just like everyone else. Panicking, Michelle rushes home, trying to make sense of the strange happenings, but no one responds to her. Only a police officer acknowledges her, explaining that it's world maintenance and that it was scheduled for today. He tells her they're just supposed to wake up, then falls into a trance, much like the others. As she rushes home, she sees a bunch of her neighbors, also frozen in time. Michelle finally arrives home and finds Carl. She hugs him, relieved to find him unharmed. She quickly tells him about what's happening outside. Suddenly, Carl starts speaking with a thick Irish accent, saying, "The downtime's been scheduled for a while, but I forgot." He introduces himself as Danny, then calmly says, "I'm going to wake up now." Confused and desperate, Michelle tells him, "You're my husband, Carl." Carl, or Danny, responds that she might want to wake herself up. As he walks toward the door, he adds, "I'll contact them and get help." Just before leaving, he too falls into a trance, like the others. Despite Michelle begging him not to leave her, she heads back inside the house and locks the door. A couple of minutes later, 2 men come in and look around the house. Michelle grabs a knife and asks who they are. They say they're customer service and are here to diagnose the issue. The men realize that she doesn't know who she really is, and one of them says she should lose the knife. The knife disappears, and the 2 men play a video on Michelle's TV. It's a promotional video featuring a spokeswoman, Kelly Fox, who welcomes Michelle to her sleepaway package, the newest in identity tourism. She explains that sleepaway is an alternate reality, and their subsonic technology linked to earbuds connects the sleeper's brains to the computer. Once the sleeper is engaged, they can create an avatar or select a pre-made one at random. The only rule is that they must stay in character. They can live a different life here, and when their character goes to sleep, it's time for them to wake up and enjoy their real lives. Michelle has a hard time processing that she's a character played by someone else. One of the customer service men says that she's actually Phineas Lowell, a man. All of Michelle's life was put together and customized by Phineas. She wonders why she can't remember any of this, and the man explains that Phineas synced up at his home and then had a heart attack. Michelle realizes that the pain she felt earlier was Phineas's heart attack. The man goes on to explain that Phineas fell into a coma, and they don't know how much of Phineas is still inside Michelle. One of the men suggests performing a forced unsync from the sleepaway reality end. Michelle panics and asks what it means for her, then says they are talking to her, not Phineas, when one of them calls her Sir. She insists that she's fine and wonders if everything will go back to normal once the downtime is over. One of the men talks to someone, saying that Michelle doesn't want to unsync. Phineas's wife, Ellen, comes in and addresses Michelle as Phineas. The men inform her that Michelle doesn't remember anything. While Ellen tells Michelle that they're married, she insists on speaking privately with her. They go for a walk, and a disembodied voice announces that world maintenance will end in 20 minutes. Michelle says that she's not going anywhere and is going to wait until the downtime is over. As they continue to walk, people are frozen in time all around them, just staring blankly like a bunch of NPCs. After some walk, they decided to take a break in the park. Ellen then talks about how she and Phineas first met, and how Phineas later proposed to her in a park, similar to where they're sitting. She addresses her as Phineas, and tells her emotional story of the two of them. When she was little, she took a lamp and it cracked in her hands. Phineas was just a little boy at the time. He rushed to her and whispered, "Don't break it." 5 years later, in the real world, they were sitting in a park similar to this one when he got down on one knee, pointed at his heart, and whispered, "Don't break it." As they laugh, Ellen tells Michelle that if she doesn't unsync, Phineas will be gone forever after the downtime, while the strange sphere is still counting down the time. Michelle insists that Phineas isn't in her. Ellen protests, saying they've been married for 15 years and have 2 children who are waiting for him. Michelle then agrees to try. They both look up at the sphere together, and Ellen's avatar goes into a trance, while Michelle says that she's sorry and she can't do it, just before she runs away. Customer service is searching the VR for Michelle, unaware that Michelle is posing as one of the tranced avatars. Once they pass, Michelle runs back to the hotel as the VR around her shifts due to the maintenance. Upon entering the hotel, she realizes it's empty, and she quickly hides in the penthouse suite. She sees the guest she sent to the penthouse before, and she knocks the man over for a reason that will blow your mind. "I'm just joking. There's no reason at all. Just like there is no reason for you to ignore that like and subscribe button." Meanwhile, Michelle lays on the bed and stares at the ceiling. She hears a pigeon tapping at the window and goes to investigate. The bird then emits an alert and flies off. Michelle sees the men running into the hotel below. The voice announces that world maintenance will end in 5 minutes. The reps enter the lobby and split up to search for Michelle. As Michelle approaches an elevator, she hears it arrive and decides to go down the stairs instead, but sees one of the reps there and rushes to the roof. She steps out onto the roof, and an escalated customer rep, Tom, appears. Tom apologizes for the inconvenience during the downtime, and says that they're all trying to help with the unforeseen error. He mentions that they're not sure what happened with Phineas, and when downtime is over, millions of people around the world will log in. Tom says that Phineas can stay and continue as Michelle, but they just want him to sign a waiver indemnifying the company from any liability. Michelle realizes they just want to get rid of Phineas, and says that she's going to wake up because she can't stay in a world she knows isn't real, and neither is she. Tom tells her to forget about Phineas, and says that Phineas swallowed some pills to kill himself before syncing up. Phineas died 45 minutes ago, and if Michelle logs out, there's nothing to go back to. Michelle thinks that she can still feel Phineas, and Tom tells her that if she stays there, she can run the hotel and go back to normal. All she has to do is not break character. Michelle reluctantly signs the waiver, and Tom thanks her before leaving. He says that it's up to her whether she logs out, and she has until the end of downtime to do so. Michelle wonders what happens if she doesn't want to play anymore because, in her mind, there's no point. Tom disappears without answering. The sphere counts down to the end of downtime, and it fades away. The avatars start up all around the world and go about their business. Meanwhile, Michelle resumes her position as hotel manager. Ellen shows up, wanting to spend a few weeks at the hotel. A smiling Michelle greets her, and that's where the film ends. But before we wrap things up, I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for helping me reach 5,000 subscribers. This milestone wouldn't have been possible without your incredible support. Every single one of you is a part of this journey, and I'm beyond grateful for your encouragement. I truly appreciate every one of you. Thank you for being a part of this family. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video. Thanks for watching.